Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Nezzy's Place podcast, where truth lives. I am your host and certified life coach, Vanez Davis. Well, hey, it's been a while and I wanted to check in on you to see how are you doing. So really, how are you doing with everything that's going on? I know sometimes in life we don't really ask the question to really hear the response because we always get that surface response. Oh, I'm doing well. I'm fine. Everything's good. But really, how are you doing? And I'm really checking in to make sure that you are doing okay. One, that you are practicing self care every day, no matter if you're working at home and you're working in the office, or maybe you have a flexible shift. Life has changed and you must take care of yourself. So make sure you're practicing your self care. It is so important. I have a friend and she sits at her desk all day and she doesn't get up like maybe 10 minutes just to take a break. She doesn't. And if she does, she's eating at her desk, even while she's working from home. And you can't do that. You have to set some time aside to move away, get out of that environment, get away from the desk, go outside, sit, take a walk, do something. But you have to practice self care. Not only is it good for your physical state, but it's good for your mental and emotional state. We all have to realize that this life has changed for all of us. Things are just not what they used to be, and we don't know how long this is going to last. So you have to pace yourself, brace yourself, because it's going to be a long ride. And also, another thing is during this time of COVID 19, it's been a time to really assess what's important and what's not, what's a necessity in your life and what isn't. And I know for me that I have found that spending money is just not a necessity. I used to spend, swipe, swipe, swipe. And even now that I can go online, I choose to only get what I want. I love Amazon, love it, but I don't go crazy. But I can tell you that because I've made some adjustments and because some of the things that I used to do and my pattern has changed, my bank account is looking pretty healthy about now. And that's a good thing. So you have to ask yourself, what are you doing to change? What are you changing in your life during this time of COVID? What has changed for you for the positive? There are so many things that have changed for the negative in so many people's lives. And we're hoping that things get better because there are some people who are just unable to manage from day to day because either they lost their job or they're furloughed or something. But we just have to realize that we have to be grateful, but we also have to be wise in what we're doing. But I just want to know, what are you doing for yourself? How have you changed? And what positive moves have you made for yourself? Even with this time that we have been given, what are you doing during this time? Are you wasting it? Are you just sitting around doing absolutely nothing? Or are you using the time wisely to be creative? Are you using your gifts and your talents and finding things to do that would make you maybe a little wealthy, maybe, or maybe to bring some money into your household? Think about that. Think about some of the things you can do to make some money. And also to checking on your family. Checking on your family and your friends. I know for me, there are some people that if I don't hear from them, it's because I didn't call. Or, you can talk to them 1 month and several months down the line, you never hear from them. A quick text would be nice, or, maybe a phone call from them would be nice, but it's almost as if you are saying, I'm not picking up the phone because I'm the one that always call. And you know what? I have said that. I'm always the one calling, so I'm not picking up the phone. But you have to look at things a little bit differently now because we are in COVID-19 and that person may be here today and gone tomorrow. And that's the reality of what we're living in. So forget that I'm not going to call because they didn't call me, or, I'm the only one calling. Put that to the side and just pick up the phone. Put it to the side and just send a quick text. What harm could it do for you to do something like that? You can do it. So that's something I wanted to check in with you too, is how are you? Make sure you check in and check up on people to make sure they're doing okay. Check on the elderly that live near you. Or maybe you know your neighbors that you know are having some financial difficulties. Look, the thing is, we have to do this together. It's not about black, white, Asian, Hispanic, or your ethnicity. It's about taking care of each other right now. Yes, we're facing some really hard times. We're facing some times that will make you think that we are living in 1962 or 67. But you know what the reality is? We're not. We're living in 2020. And while we are facing some of the things that we are facing, we still have to care for one another. We still have to take care of one another and really have empathy for each other, because that is going to be the only way that we can move forward. So, once again, this has been a time that is a time of reflection, because we don't know what it's going to look like in December, January, 2021 rolls around. I pray to God that it is totally different than 2020. 2020 has showed us a really ugly face, and that's a face I never want to see again. So if you're like me, reach out. Check on your neighbors. Check on your friends and your family. Check on people who you know may be struggling, because right now it's all about seeing the needs of other people and not necessarily what we need. Yes, that's important too, but sometimes we have to be a little bit selfless and think of someone else. So if I didn't say anything else to you today, I hope I inspired you to pick up the phone and call your friends, your family, your loved ones. Hope I inspired you to save some money. If you're spending money, now is the time to really save it. It's okay to spend once in a while, but we don't know what tomorrow's going to look like. So don't spend all your money. Save it. Another thing is, use the time wisely. Make sure you don't waste time doing nothing. All right, guys. Well, definitely thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to connect with you again in about another week. Please feel free to check out some of my other podcasts on nezziesplace.com, and also visit me on Nezzie's Place at Facebook, and hope to see you maybe on Social Vibes one day. But you can only get on Social Vibes if you connect with me on Nezzie's Place on Facebook. Well, have a great day, and once again, check on yourself every day and check on your neighbors, and make sure you ask. When you ask someone how they're doing, really mean it. How are you doing? Sometimes you may have to look in the mirror and say, how are you doing today? Ask yourself, how are you doing? How are you really doing? All right, well, you have a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye.